We had an experience, and it was all within the same conversation, right? How do we involve our Hispanic population? And this is when I was working back in the campus, and I said, if we reach out to our parents, like if we really go and ask them to be part of our community, um, and embracing the culture, the family, the traditions, I'm pretty sure we're going to get a lot of involvement, and sure enough, we did. So it's just like the reaching out and really speaking from the heart, right? I mean, so traditions, what are close to us when it comes to the Hispanic community, food,
I was
traditions,
about to say
culture.
food.
Yeah, so we went ahead and we invited them, and it started off like, let's do a contest, and it was the tamal contest. And I mean, you should have seen how many of our parents um, contributed to that, and it was such a great success. And then after that, we just started to invite. We opened up our campus to have like a Hispanic heritage celebration, and it was amazing. I mean, because within that you have the folklore, you have the music, and it was just so empowering to see how our family started to react to this welcoming environment, right? Where they were like, "Whoa, can my children dance?" We had some kids that were part of the salsa community where they would dance, and I'm like, absolutely. So we put something together, something really small, and we thought it was going to be small, but the success of it, the impact, where all of our community, I mean, was part of this, celebration. It was amazing. So I think it's just like the reaching out
Mhm.
and not limiting our parents because they don't speak the language.
when you um, when you ask parents to share or students to share about their culture, and again, not just in their small classroom, but outside of that and to the whole school, they are just so proud to share where they come from, their food, their language, their little traditions within their own cultures, because the Hispanic community is huge, right? And there's so many small little cultures within it. I think it's just everybody needs to be on board, and embrace what each student brings into their community. If
Yeah.
if I'm if I have students outside of my culture, um, then I want to know, and in a way to make them feel like that is so cool that you're from this country, or that is so cool that you guys do that. Because again, we want to help them feel proud of where they come from, and by you modeling that, you're showing all the other students that may not share the same place of origin or country. You're showing them that, hey, it's okay, and we're all from different places, and look how great it is that we are all here together learning from one another. Just being by inviting and being curious in a positive way, not in like, what is that, like, oh, like, tell me, what do you guys eat for the holidays? Like, what does your family make? Like, here we make this. Oh, well, in my family we make that. It's just staying curious and asking questions invites students to feel proud.
Because of that.
I would say that being a Hispanic immigrant, it gives you a perspective on things that help you understand how to relate to people in different scenarios. There's something we find that we can share. That is my experience as a Colombian. And I think that here, when I have to relate to people that are from different countries, different languages, I can use those skills to find things that we have in common, to find things that I admire. And I think that being able to do that and build relationships with people, not only you are building your own relationship, you're also showing them one way for them to do that. So I think when you bring that into the conversation, into your work group, into your classroom, that is some sort of modeling on how to relate to each other and finding things that bind us and bind us as a group, as a society. So I would say that's one of the things that can contribute to it.
Awesome. Anyone else?
I'm thinking just also being cognizant of thinking how much trauma there might be associated to families that are just moving in. Mine was not a trauma, but maybe, I mean, I was concerned when I just had to, like my visa came through because I was, like everything came through for me to move to my husband. I still have to travel by myself, let's say to the U.S. Embassy, and I was still, nervous thinking about it. And just the idea of, you know, everyone has a story, right? And just knowing that we have a little piece of have been an immigrant or have been born and raised in a country, like let's say if it's families that are coming from Mexico, well, yes, I can relate to some of the maybe traditions and the culture that I can make a teeny tiny little connection that then they can be more open and understand that yes, there has been trauma, but at the same time there's healing in the process and there's people that are accepting you once you have, you know, gotten here to Plano ISD. We even have teachers that, that you started working for the district and they might have been coming from different districts and they have their own story and they're like, there's something, the way that you've been welcoming us from the multilingual department, this feels like home already, and it's still the beginning of the school year, but they feel like there's the connection there, so I think that's very important.